Hey there, Marina Orms here with Astrology for Nurses, and I've got your third video in the series here where we're talking about how astrology can support a holistic healing process and how we should be including astrology as a holistic healing modality. And so in my first video, I kind of walked you through why it should be seen as a holistic modality. And in the second video, we talked about the different ways that can happen. And today I wanted to focus on a specific area, which is the moon sign and how a moon sign can help us in our healing process. Knowing the person's moon sign can help you know what helps to support that person in their healing process. But first, why the moon? Why are we looking at the moon? So in astrology, typically when you say what's your sign, what we mean is what's your sun sign, because when we're looking at an astrology chart, we have the sun, the moon, and all the planets in a particular location in the sky at the moment of birth, and that's what a natal chart is. So this is natal astrology that we're talking about. In my second video, I gave you the collective astrology, the natal astrology, and also how the collective astrology influences the natal astrology. So today we're talking about natal astrology. And so anyway, when you say that you have a sun sign or what's your sign, what we're talking about is what sign of the zodiac was the sun in when you were born. But at the time of your birth, the moon was also in a sign, and so were all of the other planets, but we're going to focus on the moon. So the moon, unlike the sun, which takes a year to go all the way around the zodiac and goes through a sign, about one sign per month. That's why we have 12 signs. And depending on the time of year or the season you were born, you can more or less guess the sun sign. But with the moon travels through the zodiac every lunar cycle, more or less. So we've got about 2 to 2.5 days that the moon is in a sign. So it's much harder to know. You don't know based on the season or even simply the day of birth, the day, unless you know the year also, you don't know what moon sign the person had. So that's the first question, is how do you find out the moon sign? And you can Google moon sign calculator on your computer, smartphone, whatever. Google moon sign calculator, and you'll get some different choices and some different ways that you can do to go plug in the date of birth, and you will need the birth day and year. And then ideally, you also know the time. If you know for sure the time, then you can get the exact moon sign. If you don't know the time, you may still be able to tell the exact moon sign, because depending on the day, some days the moon stays in a sign all day long and it doesn't change. Other days it changes signs. So on the days that the moon changes signs, there are 2 possibilities. And if you don't know the exact time, you can at least narrow it down to 2 possibilities. So for example, on the day I was born, the moon went from Aquarius into Pisces. And so without knowing my time of birth, I would either have an Aquarius moon or a Pisces moon. And if I know the exact time, then the calculator will be able to tell me exactly what my moon is. And my moon is Aquarius, in case you're burning to know. But anyway, so you can find out a person's moon sign. You can find out your own if you don't know it. And the point is, I would like you to start thinking about, for the patients you work with, the clients, the people whose healing process you support, maybe your friends if you're not a professional, to think about what their moon sign is. Because when we know the moon sign, the moon is the part of us that is about nurturing. It's about comfort. It's about feeling safe and having our emotional needs met. So think of the healing that happens when we feel safe, when we feel comfortable. we can go into the parasympathetic nervous system, right? Instead of sympathetic, which is the fight or flight or freeze, where we get activated and we're in stress or response mode. And then the parasympathetic, of course, is the part of us that is about rest and digest. So when the parasympathetic is activated, it supports our healing. And so wouldn't it be awesome if we just knew, well, here's what gives this person comfort. Here is what helps to take care of their needs so they feel safe and relaxed and can support their parasympathetic healing activities. Wouldn't you want to know? So, okay, so the other thing is just in healing and nursing and caring in general, we have comfort care that we give at the end of life. We have ways that we want our patients to feel comfortable. We want to ease pain. We want people to feel safe and relaxed because, of course, it helps with pain. It helps with when we're not stressed, that we can do more of the healing that our bodies know how to do. And I'm not talking about like it's going to do surgery on you, because that's not what it is. you still might need the surgery, right? It's not replacing the interventions we do. It's supporting the person being able to do their own internal healing, to manage whatever is happening. A procedure is happening, an injury, an illness, something's going on. We of course want their internal resources to be best supported so they can rally for their own healing. And then we've got physical healing. We've also, of course, got mental, emotional healing, spiritual healing. So all of these are supported when we feel comfortable and safe. So knowing a moon sign helps us to help the person feel comfortable and safe, because it's what makes that person feel comfortable. And certainly there are universal things that we can do that's going to help all people to feel comfortable or safe, and supporting their relaxation in all the ways that we might know how to do that. But it can be really helpful to know also what's the best way to support this person. So what I'm going to do today in this video is give you a general for each moon sign element. So there are 4 elements: earth, air, fire, and water. That gives you more of a general sense of how to work with the moon energy for a person. And then in future videos, hopefully I'll go in depth into each sign, and you can build on what you're learning here. So you can also look at my, I have moon sign videos that are more for the general public, but they might be also useful for you to see for any particular moon sign, what that moon sign is learning, what their soul is learning, how they are working with or can work positively with the energies of their particular moon, and the pitfalls, but also the opportunities. So you can look at those for individual moon signs for now, and I'm going to give you here an overview of each of the elements. So you've gone to the moon sign calculator, you've put in your patient's date of birth, and you've found out that it's either this moon sign or it's one of these two. At least we can narrow it down to 2, right? And then you can sort of play with those 2 and maybe try both or see what feels better. And we've got 3 signs in each of the 4 elements. So the 4 elements being earth, air, fire, and water, that correspond with body, mind, spirit, and emotion. So earth is body, physical world. Air is mind, thinking, thoughts, ideas, mindset. Spirit is fire. Fire is spirit, and that's also about movement and how we move energy and how we feel and experience shifts on that spiritual plane and have meaning, a sense of meaning. And then water is energy and emotion. So the water element is about how we feel things, a sense of intuition, a sense of empathy, sympathy, and how we feel and move emotions, how we feel our emotions and process and move energy through our emotions. Okay, so if the moon sign is in Earth is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So if you have a moon sign in one of those three, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, your needs for comfort are going to be very physical. So body temperature, are you warm? Are you cold? Feeling the way that your body is supported, clothing, blankets, pillows, physical comfort, food, nourishment, nutrition, things that are going to make you feel comfortable are knowing that that food is there, knowing that the things you want and need will be there, your physical objects that give you security and comfort. So think about the physical world, the physical environment, the objects, and things like eating and food. Also, of course, the physical environment of nature, the aromas. So aromatherapy could be appropriate. Ability to see and connect with nature, that's going to be supportive for someone with a moon in an earth sign. They need grounding, they need physical security and support. If someone has a moon in an air sign, they are somebody who gets comfort through ideas. So they need information. They need to have their questions answered. And this would be Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius are the air signs. So if you have a moon in one of those three, these are people who need the information. They need to be able to ask questions, get their questions answered, have access to information, be able to read, process things, talk things through, have people to exchange ideas with. Communication is really important for air signs. Ask them how they're feeling, what do they need, let them tell you, let them talk to you, let them, to the extent that you can, let them share what's going on through their verbal expression. And so that's air signs, moon in air signs. And then we've got also moon in fire signs. And the fire signs are Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I have to go through the spools of my mind to find them. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius are the fire signs. Sorry. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius are the fire signs. So if you have a moon in a fire sign, these are people who need action. They need to do stuff. They need to try stuff. It's okay if it's not going to be the right thing. They want to try it and see what happens. They need to get up and physically move. When they move, they will feel more empowered. They get comfort from the ability to take action, to take charge of their own care, to make decisions for themselves. They have the need to and the comfort through movement and action. Spiritual themes could also be a connection there, needing to have their spiritual needs met, because the reason spirit is connected to fire and action is because spirit is something that moves us. And so the ability to have something move us that gives us meaning. Why do we want to be here? Why do we want to do that? What is the purpose? What is the meaning? What is the reason? And when it makes sense to them, when they understand, okay, oh, that's why I want to do that. Okay, it gives a sense of meaning. They are empowered to make the decision and take the action. So that's fire moons. And then the last one is water moons. Water moons are Cancer and Scorpio and Pisces. And so Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces are the water signs. And if you have a moon in a water sign, you get comfort through things that make you emotionally feel secure. So certainly, you know, things that are anything that's comforting, like a comforting presence, music, a cup of tea, somebody caring, somebody bringing you a warm blanket, and see how it's different. Like with the earth, the warm blanket might be important, but more because it makes me feel warm and it takes care of my body. But with the water moon, it's important because somebody thought of me, somebody did this for me. And so it's that sense of connection, of heart opening, of feeling that presence, of knowing that someone cares, and feeling intuitively. So people with water moons, they know what's going on. It doesn't matter what you're saying with your mouth. They can feel what's going on with your energy, with your eye contact, your body language. They are all, you know, they don't, it doesn't matter what your mouth is saying, because they're feeling all the things that you are projecting, you know, based on what happened 5 minutes ago or what you're worried about when you go home. They're picking up on all of that. So when you have when you're taking care of someone with a water moon, you want to be really present, be really vulnerable and open, and say, you know, hey, I'm sorry that I wasn't thinking of you a minute ago. I was distracted, or, you know, whatever. Just being honest and truthful, because they're going to perceive that heart's intention for you to be connected and be present for them, and to be honest when you can't, right? When you have a boundary, and they'll at least feel that intention of caring, and that makes all the difference. So there you go. Isn't that powerful to know that? And there is so much for each person's individual chart that can also balance that out. So somebody can have a moon in a particular sign, but that moon could be involved in their chart in a way that tends to make that moon energy hard for them to express. It might make it easy for them to express. So you may or may not be seeing, you know, on the surface as much of how this might make an impact for someone, but trust that when you recognize how they need to be cared for, it's going to make a difference on that deeper level. And it's going to make a profound impact in helping to create comfort, and which creates safety, which creates the ability to do that innate healing process that we know how to do. And I will leave you with this image that I just love. I share it a lot, so you may have heard me say this before, but it's the image of the mother holding the child who has fallen down and hurt their knee, and or something, you know, elbow, finger, whatever. But the point is, they're not, you know, the bone is not broken, they're not bleeding, it's okay, but they're hurt, and their feelings are hurt, and they're, you know, they're experiencing pain. And so what can the mother do? The mother can't fix it. The mother can't go back in time and make them not fall down, but the mother, or whoever, the caregiver, right, can hold the child and give comfort. And that comfort is it's often all that child needs to, you know, have a couple minutes of crying or feeling things or feeling shy, and just to feel safe for that moment. And then boom, they bounce right back and they're fine, right? And they move on, and it never happened. But it's that moment of comfort that we give that is so powerful, because in that comfort, we can do the healing that our bodies already know how to do, that our psyches already know how to do. And I'm not saying it's a cure-all. It's not going to fix everything, but it certainly helps to support the healing that's happening on the inside. It helps us to feel safe, and that safety allows us to relax, to get out of stress mode, and to come back to center, to who we are and what we know how to do, and be able to make positive healing choices for ourselves. So it's amazing stuff, and it's such a simple thing to think about it that way. And maybe you've been doing astrology for a long time and you've never quite thought about it that way. I know it's really cool when we start to think about things from this healing perspective. So there is a starting place for you in terms of thinking about moon signs and working with the moon sign of your patient or client. And even if you don't know their birth date, even just knowing this information can help you think differently, can help you think, oh, is this a person who receives comfort through physical things, or is this a person who receives comfort through emotional things? And just knowing that that is a thing can support your own thinking and ability to be present. So let me know what you think. Thank you for being here. And I will continue sharing with you. I'm hoping to do these about once a week. So watch for Astrology for Nurses. If you're a nurse, a healer, interested in holistic healing, then I would encourage you to check back and see what is going on here. And I'll try to keep bringing you some new content and some new things to think about. I would love, again, to hear what you think, how this is landing for you, resonating for you, helping you if it's helping, and what you've got more questions about. So let me know what you want to hear more about or what you're curious about, and we'll go from there. Thanks so much for being here. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, be sure to do that so you get notifications when these videos are posted. And of course, you can follow all the Astro Vibe daily self-care videos that I post, because those are also awesome and super helpful. So thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.